Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have another very interesting game for you. With the white pieces playing Soviet chess grandmaster David Bronstein, who was one of the world's strongest players from the mid-1940s into the mid-1970s, and on the black side is the 8th world chess champion Mikhail. Both players were creative geniuses and had sharp attacking style. This game was played in 1972 at USSR Championship. Now let's see what happened on the board. Bronstein started the game with B3, Larsen's opening. Not a very popular move among the top players, but even nowadays from time to time this move can be seen in games of elite players. D5 by Tal, bishop b2, and we see a long jump of light squared bishop, bishop g4, h3, bishop h5, knight f3, knight d7. Both players are starting to develop their pieces, nothing special. Knight f6, d3, bishop d6, knight d2, queen e7, a3. If we have a look at the position, white acquired a very interesting setup. This looks like a hippopotamus type setup, although a pure hippopotamus setup is arising when white is also fianchettoing the light squared bishop and is bringing the knight on e2 square. This is of course a super solid formation, and let's see what is Mikhail Tal going to do against this formation. C6 by Tal, c4, black castles kingside and g4. And after this c4 g4 moves, it actually becomes obvious that Bronstein is not going to acquire a defensive strategy. He is choosing very aggressive moves. Bishop g6, knight h4, knight e8, knight takes g6 and f takes g6. An interesting decision by Tal. Of course, h takes g6 can be somewhat dangerous. Later, this h4 h5 advancement can cause black some problems. That's why in the game we see f takes g6. Tal opened up the f file for the rook. h4 b5, g5, b takes c4, d takes c4, e5. Mikhail Tal is blocking the dark squared bishop's diagonal, which stood very actively on b2 square. b4, a5. Tal is challenging black's pawn structure on the queen side, and the question arises, where is white going to bring his king? c5, bishop b8, queen a4, queen e6. The pawn on c6 was under attack. Rook g1, knight c7, bishop g4, queen f7, attacking the pawn on f2, and a bad move by David Bronstein, castling queenside. Well, it was better to play either f3 or rook f1, protect the pawn, and also keep the rook on a1 square in order after a takes b4, queen takes c6, not allow any b takes a3 moves. But in the game after queen f7 we see castling queenside, and now comes a takes b4. Now if queen takes b4, then knight a6, and white will also lose the pawn on c5. That's why Bronstein in return captured on c6, but as white has already castled queenside, the rook is no longer protecting the pawn, and Tal captured on a3. Queen takes d7, a takes b2 check, king takes b2, bishop a7, and queen takes f7 check. Though Bronstein managed to exchange the queens, but now if we have a look at the position, white king is exposed and can become an easy target for black pieces. Right now there are two hanging pawns. Rook f1 was played, and we see bishop takes c5. The storm is over and black is simply a pawn up, and white king is in danger. Knight b3, bishop a3 check, king c2, rook e7, king d3, rook b8, knight a5 and e4 check, and actually already we can say that white is in danger. King d4 was played, but now let's have a look. What if king e2? Then black can give a check from b2 square, and after the exchange of rooks on d2 can play bishop b4 check, and white is losing a piece. In the game after e4 check we see king d4. Now comes rook b4 check, and actually this king hunt is becoming very dangerous for white. King c5, and now a question arises, is there a checkmate? But let's see. Rook b5 check, king c6. Well, if king d4 then bishop b2 checkmate, that's why we see king c6, after which Tal simply won the knight on a5, rook a1, and a mistake by Mikhail. Tal rook c5 check. He is missing a forced mating line which can arise after rook a6 check. If king b7 then rook d6, after which the knight cooperating with two rooks is managing to checkmate white king. But Tal missed his chance and played rook c5 check, which allows black to equalize the game, but Bronstein missed his chance and played king b6. It's not quite clear why not king d6, after which two black pieces are hanging. And it's not quite clear how is black going to proceed with the game. White has great chances of drawing the game. Here the engine evaluates the position as equal, but Bronstein missed his chance and played king b6, after which white king is finding himself in a mating net. Now comes knight a8 check, king a6, rook c6 check, king b5, rook b6 check, king a4, and here we go rook a7, and we have this brutal checkmate on the board. Look at this. This was a very interesting game, I think. First Bronstein started the game with b3, went for a very unique setup, but soon it became clear that Bronstein was going to play aggressively. He started to push forward his pawns on both flanks, but soon found himself overexposed, and Mikhail Tal successfully exploited that fact, although in the end both players missed king d6 move, and the rest is history. We have this checkmate on the board. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this game. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.